beautiful people. Welcome to the second hour of LoveBabz Love Talk on this wonderful Friday. I get the pleasure of seeing the multi-talented and beautiful Juanita Sunday. Unmute yourself, Juanita, so we can have a conversation. Because she has pulled together the Sixth Dimension Afrofuturism Festival that's happening. I guess it kicks off August 26th.
Yes, it does.
At the lab at Concord, right?
That's correct. One more week.
Oh my God. All right, so I want to know because I saw the exhibition when you did it at Connecticut College last spring, whenever it was, spring. And it was mind-blowing and dazzling, right? I was just like, all right, I'm with this. But now you're bringing it here to New Haven, and it's going to run for a period of time over a bunch of venues. So talk to me about what is the Sixth Dimension Afrofuturism Festival?
Yeah. So Sixth Dimension is a deconstructed festival, meaning that it happens at multiple sites over a period of time. So from August 26th through October 28th, there's the main exhibition that will be up at the lab at Concord. That's sort of the nexus and the center of everything. And then over the course of that 2 months, there's 10 different events that's happening with different community partners across New Haven and Hampden. So it allows people to engage with Sixth Dimension in different ways and different forms of art through conversation, music, and just make it a really dynamic experience for everyone.
Oh, I love it. And you look amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Amazing. So what is it about Afrofuturism that has captured your imagination? I mean, you're a producer, you're an artist, you're all the things, but what is it specifically about Afrofuturism that you feel called or compelled to sort of work in this idea?
Yeah. So for me, it really all started about 2 years ago. I took a really interesting workshop called How to Think Like an Afrofuturist with Ingrid LaFleur. And I think when I took that workshop, it really just opened up my mind into different ways of thinking, different ways of seeing the world, of seeing myself as a Black person and our place in this world and universe. And so that's something that just really captivated me. And since then, it's just been on my mind. And Sixth Dimension has been a way for me to share and express that excitement of Afrofuturism with my community. And for me, Afrofuturism is a way of centering the Black experience and thinking about ourselves in a new future, in a different world where we're not limited by colonialism or white supremacy, and that we are the center of our universe. And so I really love that.
Oh, I love that too. I didn't know there was a whole class on, like a workshop of some sort on that. Like that would be so cool to take. So, all right. So when you pull this off, what is it about the Sixth Dimension as opposed to the 12th dimension, as opposed to the third dimension? Like what is?
Yeah. So when I was doing my research, trying to figure out, what to call this exhibition, getting into the nerdy side of it, I was looking up, what the different dimensions were that sort of captivated me. And so I was reading that the Sixth Dimension, this is from Marvel, is the point in the dimensions where all realities can converge and exist at the same time. So it is the dimension where time travel is possible, where ultimate realities are possible. And so that's what captivated me with the Sixth Dimension opposed to all the other ones. And very interestingly, I just learned that there are 5 regions in Africa. And so they actually call the 6th region the African diaspora. So Black people are all over the world are called the 6th region. And so I found that out actually way, way later. But that's just another connection that I find really, really fun and interesting.
Oh, I love that. You've just given me some new information. I like that. All right, so I'm in the Sixth Dimension already.
Right.
All right, so when you start planning for this, what do you start to think about? Like how did you think about how big you wanted to make this? What did you draw from? What spoke to you? Did you just pull things that you liked, or how do you think about this festival?
Yeah. So what I originally wanted in my heart of hearts, I was actually really inspired, not Afrofuturism, but really great movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, right?
Oh, it's my favorite movie. I
Yes,
love
it's
it.
phenomenal. And so when I was thinking about Sixth Dimension, that's really what I wanted. I wanted everything everywhere all at once, right? Can't do everything all at once, but that made me think about, well, what if I just spread out all of these different events and programming across, 2 months? And so normally when I do an exhibition, there's usually some programming that goes along with it, maybe one event or two events along with the exhibition. And so for this, when I wanted to bring it to New Haven, I kind of just wanted to explode that idea and do a bunch of different events, right? And so I was thinking about all the things I love. So I was like, what if I do Afrofuturism and music and Afrofuturism, and we're having a tea party. What if I've been wanting to do a conference. So there's a conference where you can take fun workshops like how to think like an Afrofuturist. And so I just wanted all of these ways that people can engage and be involved in the exhibition that's, more than just a 1-day or 2-day event.
So when you launched in Connecticut College, did you already have a mind to come to New Haven with this?
I did. So again, originally I wanted it in 3 cities at one time. So my heart of hearts, I wanted it in New London, Hartford, and New Haven all at one time, but couldn't do that. So my next idea was to bring it around to different cities. So it was supposed to actually be in Hartford this summer, but unfortunately couldn't do that. And so New Haven was the last spot on the tour at the end of this year. So yeah, that was the idea from the beginning, was to bring this experience to different places in Connecticut.
So is the idea to continue to do this? Like, do I look forward to this next year? Do I look forward to this 2 years from now? Like, how do I think about this?
Absolutely. So I really want to make this a yearly festival. Haven't decided whether it's going to be annual or biannual yet. And it most likely will be turned into like a 3-day kind of experience, but absolutely want to continue with exploring Afrofuturism in New Haven regularly.
Oh, I love it. Because are you finding that people are readily understanding this concept of Afrofuturism? Like, I would imagine artists are probably closer to it than us regular folks.
Right. No, I think it's still something very new, a new concept for people to think about and explore, which makes it exciting. And so yeah, there's so many different like levels of understanding. And for most people, when they ask me what is Afrofuturism, I go with the most pop culture sort of reference, which is Black Panther. That's something that most people have seen and understand, right? So that's like a point of engagement for me to start talking about it, and then you can get into like different concepts and through it as well. But that's usually like where at least most people are like, oh yeah, I know Black Panther, and then we can start from there.
Oh, I love that. I didn't even think Black Panther, but I mean,
Yeah.
we're all Wakanda forever, all the time.
Right.
and that seems to be I think what resonates with that is this longing for us to be tightly connected with the
Right.
world and to ourselves, where we're not, where we are centered in ways that we are not centered now. Is that the thinking?
Exactly. And, reimagining what our world would look like without colonial intervention, right? Like, what could we have developed? What does our technology look like? What does our fashion look like? All of these different things, I think, is exciting.
And so I would imagine too, Juanita, that technology plays a big role in how we think about Black to the future, Afrofuturism.
Absolutely. It's definitely embedded and integrated into Afrofuturism through the art, through the way we can experience it. It's really a core center of Afrofuturism, actually.
Wow, I like it. I like it. All right, so what can I expect? Give me some highlights of what can I expect when I come to the festival, or when I jump into something for the next 2 months. What am I going to see? What am I going to experience?
Yeah, so as we mentioned, it kicks off August 26th, which is next Saturday, at that Lava Concord. That's a free event. It's the opening reception of the exhibition, which is going to be immersive. It's going to be participatory. There's going to be a lot of interactive features within the exhibition. So it's going to be a lot of fun, performances between music, poetry, and theater. So definitely don't miss the opening reception. That's a great one. But from there, we kick off. The following week, we'll be at Possible Futures for the Fred Hampton Birthday Bash community event. Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun. We'll be celebrating Fred Hampton on his birthday, the Black Panther Party, as well as thinking about liberating our futures and incorporating Afrofuturism into our thinking. So that should be a lot of fun at Possible Futures. There's also a book club. So I'll be announcing the official book for the festival, but if you're tuning in, you get the preview right now. So if you enjoy reading and want to talk about Afrofuturism through literature and speculative fiction, the official book is Memory Librarian by Janelle Monáe. And so there are a couple of book club meetups that we'll be doing. And the great thing about this book is it's 5 short stories. So
is this Janelle Monáe the singer,
yes,
the songwriter?
Yes, so and actually she is definitely an Afrofuturist. And so there's 5 short stories. We'll be picking just 2 of them and be doing 2 book club meetups. So not too heavy reading, but really good stuff. That's going to be a lot of fun. There's an Afro-Galactic tea party that will be happening at Bloom. So that's just
right. Now tell me about that, because I want to know a lot about that.
That's just a fun opportunity to get dressed up and your fancy clothes, given fashion, given Afrofuturism, given funky. And we'll just be having tea and conversation. There's going to be live performances. It's just going to be a really great experience to just immerse yourself in this Afrofuturist experience through tea, through performance, through poetry. So that's just going to be a really just fun event for folks. The other big event that we have is the Into the Afroverse Summit. So that is in partnership with Next Haven at Next Haven on October 14th. And so that's a way to deeper engage into different concepts of Afrofuturism. And so Babz, you're going to be there doing our Afrofuturism and food event. So that's going to be fun. We'll be talking about Afrofuturism and visual culture, building the Black tomorrow. So looking at our communities and how we're building the Black community. We'll be talking about being queer in Afrofuturism and how those are connected. So a lot of fun topics to engage in Afrofuturism and bring it into a way that's how we can talk about it in the everyday kind of concept and sense, but should be a lot of fun as well. Performances, workshops, there's going to be a wellness room, great day to just further engage into Afrofuturism. I can't miss our partnership with Best Film and Video. Mm-hmm. So we'll be doing an event there. It's going to be the Dirty Computer screening and talk. So we'll be watching Janelle Monáe's short film, Dirty Computer, having a dance party, talking about film and Afrofuturism, and there may be a special performance happening as well. So don't miss that event either.
I love it. So when you talk to art, when you bring all these people together, talk to me about what kind of conversations you had to invite people to this, because I would imagine there is a growing body of artists that are dedicated to Afrofuturism, or maybe they don't know they're Afrofuturism until you call them.
Yes, that's exactly it, right? So there's a lot of, when we're talking about the artists that are participating, there's a lot of artists that, may clearly be working in Afrofuturist space. So I have artists like Ira Rebels from Hartford, whose work is, clearly Afrofuturist, very incorporating technology into her work. And then there's other artists who don't even realize, right, that their work sits into an Afrofuturist framework. So I think of an artist, Greg Ami, that I work with a lot, who has these augmented reality collages that he does, and he's now moving into sculpture. But when he first started getting involved in my exhibitions, he didn't see himself in Afrofuturism. Other people have told him that, and he was like, "What, really?" And so the more he started learning about it and looking at his work and incorporating the technology, the augmented reality, the visuals of his work, it's like, no, this is very clearly Afrofuturism. So it's kind of fun to work with different artists that are, again, at different points of engagement. There's artists who are creating work specifically for Sixth Dimension, so may not have done anything Afrofuturism before, but they're like, this is really cool. Like, I wanna do something and create something with this. And I think that's the fun part of it, that, you know, anyone can be involved, and it's very collaborative and participatory. And so I'm excited to see what all the artists bring in the conversations that we're going to have at the summit as well.
I'm interested, and I love that you have added a food component, a conversation, because I think artists, food artists, chefs, people who create through food is growing in such popularity. But I love the fact that you've added this Afrofuturism platform for it, so people could talk about Black food into the future. Like, what is that going to look like? What is how we going to do this? So I like, you know, I'm already forming my questions because I'm excited by this, you know.
And so another Babz exclusive. So that conversation will be with Keem Hughley, which is the owner of Bronze in DC, which is the first Afrofuturism restaurant. So we're really excited to bring Keem as well as Toya, which is the chef, here to New Haven to talk with Babz, to talk about food, the future of food, and have some nice bites as well. So that's going to be a really, really great panel.
Oh yeah, I'm very looking forward to that. So Juanita, tell us about who you are, because I know you because I met you through Ife, through Ife, and then you from Culturally Lit, because you were based in New London, I believe.
Yeah.
And you were doing some amazing stuff in New London, and then you came to New Haven to work on the International Festival of Arts and Ideas, and done some really, really cool stuff. So I got to know you better through that organization, and now you're doing Sixth Dimension, which is amazing. But tell us where you're from, and how did you come to the arts, to this level of creativity?
Sure. So I'm from London, Connecticut, born and raised, and I've been within the arts for the last, how many years now? Almost 8 years, I think. And so I kind of just happened upon like working in the arts. And so my background is in digital media and design. So arts has always been something that I've been passionate about. My first art was through photography. Got into digital media and design, and I was working a lot in like marketing and digital marketing, social media for a little bit. And then I went back to New London and got a job at an art gallery. And so that kind of just started everything, right? I didn't know I was going to be a curator at the time, or, you know, producing events, but I got into that space and I got to start working with artists and got to start producing events and curating and installing shows. And from there, it really all sparked that this is the space that I want to continue working in and being with. And so I'm just really passionate about being able to work with artists, to put together experiences for folks, particularly experiences that highlight Black people, that highlight Black culture. Is everything that I thrive off of and that I'm passionate about. And so I've been curating exhibitions since about 2017, and done about one every 2 years. So Sixth Dimension, the first one was my 4th curatorial show. And I'm just really excited to be growing in my craft and being able to expand it at a larger level, and be able to really integrate even more into the New Haven community, because y'all all have been amazing since I've been here for the last year and a half. It's just been phenomenal.
Well, you've been a welcome addition to the arts community. I mean, you have brought a breath of fresh air to a lot of mediums, and we're just glad to have you. And I'm excited. So when you're, I know that you have other projects that you're considering and thinking about, because I know Sixth Dimension is just but one of a lot. What else are you thinking about these days?
Yeah, so I actually have an exhibition that will be opening next year at the Fairfield University Art Museum. So that'll be in the September of next year. So look out for that. It's called Sacred Space, and I'm really excited for that that partnership to be able to work with Fairfield University Art Museum. So that's already in the works, and I'm excited for that. As you know, Babz, I'm on the Culturally Lit team, so we're getting ready for Elm City Lit Fest, which is on September 9. So that's always something really exciting, and thinking about DiasporaCon for next year. So I'm super excited for that. I love comic books. I love cosplaying and all the things. So excited for DiasporaCon next year. Already got so many things planning and in the works. And there's some other things that are going to be happening. Harlem Renaissance event coming up next year that's in partnership with some of my partners. So a lot of fun things next year that are going to be coming up in New Haven.
So you are busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Never stops. Project after project.
You are busy. So when you think about Afrofuturism, is there some room for rest and reflection and relaxation? Like, are we going to be resting into the Black future?
Absolutely. I should hope that we are resting. Please rest. Please nap. All of the things. This is actually why I wanted to create a wellness room at the summit as well, right? And so we're here, we're having these conversations and workshops, but I also wanted a space for people to just relax and rest, maybe get a massage, have a smoothie, meditate. I think all of those things are super important to Black healing and liberation, is to make sure that we are also taking care of ourselves and resting into the future so we have a future, right? So absolutely, please rest. I love my naps.
I kind of love them too. So, but not in the way that other people do. Like, because if I take a nap, Juanita, I'm going to sleep.
You're gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't nap during the day, because if I nap, I cannot do a 45-minute sleep. I'm down. So, but I understand the concept of rest, when you could just sit and be easy with yourself, and quiet and stuff like that. So is there any now, as you already have planned the Afrofuturism Sixth Dimension Festival, is there anything that you feel like you've left out? Like, oh man, I'm gonna put this on the list for next year.
Yeah, so something I really wanted to do this year, but I'm gonna save it for next year, the next Sixth Dimension, is an Afrofuturist fashion show. And so I have this whole vision. Yeah, I have this whole vision in my head of this really funky fashion show, possibly on top of a garage, but we will see. So like that was one event that I'm like, all right, we're gonna save off for next year. There's some music artists that I really wanted to bring to New Haven, so saving that again for the next one. I have to remind myself that I'm like, this isn't the only one. There's going to be more. So yeah, I have some things in my bag and that I'm looking to pull out in the future.
So where do you draw your inspiration from, Juanita? Like in your everyday practical life, because you're a good-looking woman. You have great style. I've seen you in Afro steampunk photos, because you are into that. I've seen you in cosplay stuff. Where do you draw your inspiration from?
Ooh, that is a great question. Clearly, I'm a huge Janelle Monáe fan. So definitely one of my inspirations, just her style, her freedom is something I'm always inspired by. Let me think. I think honestly, it sounds corny, but other artists, Black artists, like I see the work that they're doing, and I'm always really inspired by the creatives around me in my community. So that definitely keeps me going. I'm a big nerd, so I love sci-fi. I love, Marvel. I love comic books. So like that's always an inspiration, and time travel, like all of those sort of like things. That's actually what inspired Sixth Dimension, was really just my love of like thinking about time travel, thinking about these things. And so I get excited about, those possibilities of different things and experiences. So I self-identify as blurred, which is a Black nerd. So I always draw inspiration from all of those nerdy things. I love reading. So speculative fiction is, something I really enjoy. I'm reading, still trying to get through, which is really great, Goliath right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Great book, based in New Haven, speculative fiction, Afrofuturism. Definitely check that out. So yeah, I think just the world around me, and honestly, Black people inspire me every day. Yeah.
I love it. And you are a digital designer. Like you are a digital designer, and you use the tools of AI to create. I mean, all the creative things that come out of your camp are by your own hand.
Yes, yeah. So as I mentioned, my background as a digital media and design, and so yeah, everything that I create for my shows, my exhibition is through myself. So all the visuals, the
I mean,
flyers,
they are
graphics,
stunning, Juanita.
you
I mean,
know.
they're quite captivating. I'm just like, wow,
Yeah, it's fun. That's another, creative outlet for me. It's fun to be able to have this vision and then be able to like bring it together through my visuals, right? Is always a lot of fun. And then seeing my work in print is always amazing too.
Yes. So when you sit down to create the visual part for all of this, do you already have something in mind, or do you sit there for a minute and like allow for it to like show up?
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's a feeling. Like I think I know the feeling I want to evoke out of it, but it's a lot of revision and going back and forth. And if anyone's actually been following Sixth Dimension, they'll see I have so many different iterations of my design. So I finally settled on one visual because I kind of go back and forth a lot on the things I create. But again, that's the fun part: experimentation and trying different things and allowing for freedom, and things don't have to be perfect, right? And you can go back and work on it again and do something and explore it. So I think that's also part of Afrofuturism.
So what is the biggest dream for all that you want to do? Like, I know what you're doing now. I know what you're probably going to be doing next year, but what is the ultimate dream? What is how do you know when you're like, okay, this is the thing right here?
Ooh, the ultimate dream. I think for me, and I'll put it at least just to help me conceptualize some things in the space of like Connecticut, the Connecticut art scene is really one. I want to see the arts really integrated in Connecticut, right? So like I see that there's so many different art scenes, whether it's in New Haven, Bridgeport, Hartford, but seeing a really collective like Black art scene, right, is something that like I want to see in Connecticut. I was just thinking about, I really want to have this Black arts festival and fair here in New Haven that brings together like all these Black artists from all the communities in Connecticut for like this huge art fair, and that really showcases the arts in Connecticut, that showcases Black culture and Black artists here, that where people are like, Connecticut has it, right? We're going there. Their artists are amazing. It's the scene to be. And so that's something that I dream about, and just really amplifying the arts here in Connecticut and New Haven as much as possible.
I love it. Well, I so appreciate you hopping in today. Is there any last thing you want to say before? Because I know you got to get back to creating and wrangling a whole festival.
Yeah, I just want to actually thank some of my sponsors and partners. So thank you to the Community Foundation of Greater New Haven. They sponsored the exhibition. So thank you to them. C2 Humanities received a grant for the summit. So big thank you to them. Big thank you to Next Haven for their partnership. The Arts Council of Greater New Haven for their fiscal sponsorship and support. And yeah, so I just want to thank all of these partners, as well as my community partners, Possible Futures, Bloom, the lab at Concord, Black Infinity Collective. Without all of these community partners and support, this wouldn't be possible as well as the Town Green. And the last thing I'll mention is there will be some public art along with the exhibition. So we have Marshawn Art that will be starting some painting of the electrical boxes downtown.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, so that'll be happening. So you'll see a few of the electric boxes painted by Marsh over the next week or so. And so that's in partnership with the Town Green as well. So just wanted to make sure I shout them out.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, it all kicks off August 26th, right? At
Yes, it does.
at the Lab at Concord. This is the opening reception. So
Yes.
come and be fabulous and eat and drink, I would imagine, and
Yes,
you know, and be yourselves in a very black ass space and and have a good time. I think that's what next Friday, is that next Friday? Next Saturday. So you have no excuses, people. It's the weekend. You don't gotta get up the next morning.
It's free.
It's free.
Come on now.
And there's parking at the Lab at Concord.
Yes.
There's parking, and oh, thank you, Harry, for putting that up. So the opening reception, interactive live performances, the DJ, food and drink. So you do not want to miss that. You just don't. And if you do, I'm gonna talk about you. So and don't cry to me when you're like, I didn't know, I didn't see it. I was like, no, it's here. So thank you, Juanita, for your time and talent this morning. I so appreciate you. And I know I'll see you in these art streets rather soon.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Thank you so much. Yay. All right. It's Friday, y'all. Go get into something. There's all kinds of stuff going on in this town. Just go to the Arts Council website and look it up. Go see what's happening at Possible Futures. Run over the Bloom. There's art stuff exhibit over at Next Haven. I think it's about to shut down. There's an art exhibit at the Yale Law School that's about to shut down called Twins. These two judges, the twin judges exhibit. I think that's going away today. So there's art all around you. So, just go take a walk. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Paul. I'll be back on Monday, y'all. I'll be back on Monday, and we'll get into it again. So y'all be safe out there. I'll see y'all.